Hey everyone, Eli here. I got a here for a black metal collection update for you today. First off, we are listening to the new 2018 apparently demo by Virgin Bleeds. This is their sole release so far. This is actually a side project of Francisco Polito from Thy Feeble Savior, among other bands. Really good stuff, man. Very much in the vein of Thy Feeble Savior, but even more raw and more ghastly than what they typically do. But still very, very much in that vein. You can get this from Nero One Records if they have any. If they have any left. This was a very small press. I want to say like 40 or 50 copies were made this time around, but. Go to Nero One if you like what you hear. They might have copies left if you're lucky. Anyways, great stuff. I'll quit rambling on about that, but I've listened to it a bunch of times. In fact, I might have already shown that. So if I have, I apologize. Tonight, I'm going to see a show in my town here, actually playing at a coffee shop, which is kind of cool and kind of weird at the same time. Not something I'm real familiar with, but this Doom, kind of one-man Doom project called Crawl out of Texas. Only reason I know about this this stuff is because he did a split with Leviathan a couple years back, something like that, playing with a local band that I've never heard of, also called Corpse Shadow. So hopefully that's decent. We'll see. Maybe I'll let you guys know. Anyways, on to the loot here. Purchased a couple of these from a buddy of mine. Some of these I got from a trade sometime last year, and a couple of them I purchased myself. So we'll start with something that my collection has been sorely needing for a long time. I actually, until the other day, I've owned nothing by this band, despite liking them for a long time. We have Diabolical Masquerade's Nightwork. This is it's pretty cool. It's got like raised lettering. Very, very nice digipack, put out by Avantgarde Music. It's a fold-out digipack, as you see. Very cool. Diabolical Masquerade out of Sweden. Excellent, excellent black metal, as well as one of their other albums, The Phantom Lodge. Possibly my favorite from them. This was put out by Disappear. I think that's out of France. If I remember correctly, and if I also remember correctly, I don't think it's a label in existence anymore. But yeah, also on a digipack. Really cool fucking CD art there. Imprinted, whatever you want to call it. Just classic, mandatory Swedish black metal. My punch bowl of coffee there. And I also got this. This is a band that for some odd fucking reason, when they came out, and really until like maybe a year ago, I kind of wrote this band off, and I don't know why, because now I'm just like completely infatuated with all their material. That's Cold Northern Vengeance with Domination and Servitude. This is their sole full length, if I remember correctly. They had some EP demo stuff also. They are still in existence, but they have changed their name just to Northern. I'm not sure why, but that's what's going on with them now. Put out by the mighty Bindrune Recordings. This is a U.S. black metal band. Excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. 2 men in the band, if I remember correctly. And yeah, can't recommend that one enough. Now here's an album that, man... I've listened to this band since their inception. If I had gotten my hands on this last year when it came out, it would have easily made my my end of year list. Easily, probably top 5. But I didn't get it until this year. But it is fucking awesome. We got Nocturnal Graves with Titan, released via Season of Mist digipack. Nocturnal Graves they're an Australian band, kind of like an Australian black thrash, black death thrash type. They very Australian sounding. In my opinion, leading up to this, they kind of sounded very reminiscent of Destroyer 666, which is never a bad thing. But however, on this release, I feel there are some definite Angel Corpse influences creeping in, and it is awesome. It's just a perfect match of fucking sounds, man. This one I got also quite some time ago, as well as the vinyl, and I showed the vinyl, but I don't think I showed this. Got Recluse with the Black Famine. This was put out on Vault of Dry Bones and Hooded in Oil. This is basically a project of Phil McSorley from ex-Cobalt. This was his project for a while. He actually has laid this project to rest. But very good stuff, American black metal. On this album in particular, it features him and Mike Meacham from the band. Oh, god damn it! Don't fail me now, memory. God damn it, Loss. American doom death band Loss. So really, really good U.S. black metal there. Got this in a trade sometime last year as well. I pretty much grabbed this because the dude didn't really have much that I wanted. Not that I mind having this in my collection, but it's I love this band, but it's not a release of theirs that I grab often. Even though I now own it, we got Over with their second album. Yeah, we all know it. None of us know how to pronounce it. Well, I don't. As you probably all know now, I mean, Over are of, they're definitely, their name is definitely legendary, in the Norwegian black metal world. They basically put this out right in the middle of two amazing black metal releases, and this is a pure folk release. So I guess it's good for what it is. I'm just not real big into folk, so I do like it. I certainly don't love it, but it's cool to have. God, never get enough fucking coffee. Louis is like right here. Not right now, Louis. Go lay down. Or do your thing. Alright, got this also from a trade at sometime last year. From a dude I trade with occasionally. I think he's from Italy. There's a couple European dudes that I trade with once or twice a year. I think this guy's from Italy or France. Something like that. Anyways, we have black metal band, god damn it, are they from Norway? I don't remember, I'm so sorry. But anyways, we got Stillhet with that album. Put out on Ordo Decimus Peccatum. Not a label I'm familiar with. I think I've just vaguely heard of this band, and once again, kind of like similar to the last trade I was talking about, he didn't have a whole lot. Yeah, Norway, so I was right about that. Anyway, he didn't have a whole lot that I really wanted, so I went for this just because the name kind of rang a bell, and yeah. So there you go. Are they carrying the torch properly for Norwegian black metal? We'll see. Also from that same trade, we have Polish band black metal. I mean, all these bands are black metal. Infidel with Eviscerate Yourself. Yes, do that. Came out on a Polish label, Old Temple. Polish black metal. Don't know this band super well. I've heard a little bit of their stuff. Can't comment too much on it right now. This was also part of my the trade that I made to my local record store. As I said before, they don't always have shit that I want, so sometimes I kind of just have to grab things and hope for the best. Which is what I did with this one. I had heard of this band, but to be honest, when this band came out, I had no interest in listening to them. I mean, it's a couple dudes from some very prominent U.S. black metal bands, which, despite being an American, I don't like a lot of black metal out of this country. A lot of it just does not work for me. So, I mean, some of these dudes were from like, oh goddamn, I'm no expert on that shit. I can't remember, but very notable black metal bands in the U.S. So I guess, could label it as a super group. That's what a lot of people are doing, but that's not the point. Anyways, you're probably like, dude, just tell us who this fucking band is and get it over with. I agree with you. This is Vanum with their first, their debut full length out of Profound Lore Records, Realm of Sacrifice. They have since gone on to do an EP and another full length that came out this year that I heard is very good. And to be honest, I did like this album much more than I, a couple years ago thought that I would have. I can't really go into detail, enough detail to do the album justice, as I just kind of gave it a, if any album that I've listened to one time, I'm not even gonna try to properly dissect it or give you guys a good review of it. I'm just, for me, any album I listen to, I need to listen to it at least 2 or 3 times before I feel confident in talking about it. So I apologize about that, but hey, at least I'm giving you guys the basics. So yeah, Vanum from the U.S., a band to look out for. I've like I said, their album from this year is getting a lot of great reviews. Even people I know personally that kind of have a similar taste in black metal that I do are kind of all over that new album. So I can say that much. It sounds very promising. I actually really want to hear it. This album right here as well came out of a trade. Can't remember which one, but came out of one of my trades. This is an album that I have wanted for a long time. This is a absolute classic masterpiece of a black metal album. I absolutely love... I know it's not PC to say or admit, but that Polish black metal from early to mid 90s is just, some of that shit for me is just pure magic. Some of the best black metal ever made, and this band is right there up at the top with all those guys. So we got Infernum with their debut album. I'm also not gonna pronounce that. This came out on Astral Wings Records, so this is an original pressing of this album. I mean, yeah, this is just classic stuff. I mean, this album stands with the best of them, with Graveland and Velis and all that stuff that we're not supposed to like. Yeah, fantastic album. We got Rob Darkin. Speaking of Graveland, got Rob Darkin doing vocals. Capricornus also, in that very major player in that group on drums, and goddamn, it's just a masterpiece of black metal. This CD right here, this is a band that I have nothing from this band, at least until I got this, and I've always fucking wanted to get something from them. Why I have slept on that this long, I don't know. It almost doesn't make any sense, but we have The Ruins of Everast. This was 2 full lengths ago, and if you ask me, this is a masterpiece. The name is Foul Semen of a Sheltered Elite. Look at that cover art, by the way. Jesus. Came out on Van Records. I think this, for this band, their second album, for their first album and this one are kind of tied for their best material. I go back and forth. Sometimes I say the first album, sometimes I say this one. So now I'm just going to say that they're tied. Absolute masterpiece of, atmospheric black metal. Sent to me by my buddy Brain Smasher. Thanks a lot, man. Now we have a couple not so mandatory releases that I picked these up just because I'm a super fan, aka, I'm a sucker. We already had Live in Leipzig, but Peaceville just recently has been putting out more Mayhem live albums from that same era, same tour. Wasn't that the same? I think it was the same tour as the Leipzig date, because they went over to Germany and played 3 or 4 dates or something like that. So I guess it's kind of cool to get a live recording of all those dates. If if you're a Mayhem super fan, you can't get enough of the Dead era material because there's not a lot of it. Last year I picked up one live in, I don't remember what the city was, but this year we got live in Sarpsborg, put out by Peaceville, of course, and we have live in Jessheim, something like that. What is cool about these though, these two at least, not that last one, but these, I haven't watched them yet. They come with DVDs as well, not just a live CD, but live DVDs, which is cool. I mean, you get a little live footage too. Like I said, I haven't watched them. I don't know the quality. Expecting something high quality would certainly be unrealistic, and yeah, not a smart expectation. But why I haven't watched them yet, I don't know. I think we all kind of like that air of mystery, I don't know what it looks like. I'll watch them eventually, maybe tonight, maybe next year. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, live Mayhem albums. Can't really go wrong, I guess. Got those all also at my my local shop, as well as this. I think I got this the same day. We have the newest Druk release. It's a compilation. That stands for A Few Lines in Archaic Ukrainian. This is a compilation of all their side of recent splits that they've done. Like, does it actually say? Because I don't remember. God damn it. I'm sure it does, but I don't want to sit here just staring. You guys wanting me to hurry up. But they did that split. I want to say that was like a Norwegian band. They did that split. Don't remember who that split was with. And they did this one. Was a split with Paysage de Hiver. I gotta hate saying that. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have. I mean, it is not gonna sit amongst their best material, but it's still decent Druk stuff. I wish I had the splits individually instead of this, but hey, I did not get my hands on any of those splits, at least not yet, so I guess I got this to tide me off until then. Now we have, I've known about this band a long time, never have owned anything from them. We have Obtest, with one of their newer albums, I'm not going to pronounce that. There we go. This came out on Ledo Takas Records, which I thought that was a label ran by the Loitz dudes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I am. Did I show that back already? Obtest are at least I haven't heard this album, but at least from what I remember when they started out, they were like kind of a like a pagan black metal band, very, very folky sounding. I don't remember where they're from. I want to say, they're definitely Eastern European. I don't remember exactly where they're from. Does it say on the back? Come on, man. I don't know. Sorry, I really don't remember. But anyways, Obtest. Here's another Profound Lore release from this year. I totally grabbed this just based on the artwork alone, and once I show it, you'll understand why. However, I'm not super thrilled with the album, but I mean that's kind of what you get for blind buying shit. The band name is questionable. Like I don't know where they came up with the band name and why they chose it, but this is a band out of the U.S. I think. At least that's what somebody told me, or I read online or something. But we got Totaled. Yes, Totaled. I mean, look at the cover art though. Can you blame me for blind buying that? It's fucking awesome. I mean, all the art on this thing is just, the layout's awesome. I mean, it's aesthetically very well done. So what these guys do are, it's basically traditional black metal with, I guess like maybe a crust or hardcore influence. and that influence mostly is just in the vocals. The vocals kind of go back and forth between, you know, kind of a deep hardcore bellow and some black metal sounding vocals, kind of somewhere in the middle there. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's decent. It's very well played, and musicianship is good. The songwriting is fine. It's just, it doesn't add up to much for me personally. So I mean, I've given it 2 listens. I'm not going to give up on it yet, but it's just not something that not something I'm crazy about. You know, can't be into all of them. And last but not least, also picked this up from a buddy of mine. Another band that I've always wanted to get shit from. I think I've heard all this guy's work, and I've yet to own anything, so now I do. This is one of his earlier albums. Maybe his first. I don't know for sure. But anyways, we have I Shalt Become with Wanderings. This is black metal from the U.S. Came out in 2006 on Moribund Records. It's got some covers on here as bonus tracks. Burzum cover and 2 Judas Iscariot covers. So I don't know if this is a first pressing or not. First pressings don't always come with bonus tracks, but sometimes they do. Did I show that already? Yeah, so this is a one-man black metal, very atmospheric. Very, very atmospheric. Like I said, I've heard all this stuff. What I do like about this guy, though, is he doesn't tend to repeat himself. I mean, he does like to experiment with themes, different themes and different sounds. Always very, very on the atmospheric side. That one right there is just, I mean, I probably haven't heard it since 2006. I mean, it really, honestly, it sounds kind of like what you'd expect based on the cover. It's raw. It's raw, very grim, very cold. But you know, it's not. Despite covering Judas Iscariot, they don't sound like that. More Burzum than Judas Iscariot, I would say. No, not quite as visceral as Judas Iscariot were, but more on the atmospheric side. I know I'm terrible at my descriptions. Probably leave a lot to be desired. But if you like atmospheric black metal, check out I Shall Become. I think that should be enough for you. Anyways, that's all I got for now. I still have more stuff to show, but I kind of just sorted this one out all in the black metal. We'll throw a bone for the black metal guys, and then I'll show the rest on future videos. So anyways, yeah, I'll let you guys, if you guys know anything about Crawl, talk about it. I'll let you guys know how the show goes. I've literally only heard one song from Crawl. It was the song that was on the split with Leviathan. So yeah, talk to me about Crawl. Let me know if any of you have heard Virgin Bleeds. And if you haven't, and you like what you heard, if you like Profanatica, Thy Feeble Savior, go get this. I'll leave a link at the bottom. Even when I purchased this like a month ago, there were only a few copies left. So, I mean, it might be sold out, but hey, at least go try. So yeah, that's all I got for now. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, you're a stronger man than I. And cheers. We'll talk soon.